I'd like to do is ask everybody to pause for a minute because we've lost so many people to COVID-19 that I think that we need to do it in their honor and just to understand the challenge that we've been through the course of the last 12 plus months. Thank you. So, as you know, the pandemic came at us pretty quickly and unexpectedly, and our city responded, I'm proud to report. Our Budget and Finance Evaluation Office, under the leadership of Ken Hunter, finished the 2020 fiscal year with a net gain in fund balance despite the pandemic and the struggles associated with that. Found more than $13 million in necessary reductions to offset the ongoing impact of the pandemic on city revenues and maintained a balanced budget. No small task. Our Business and Collection Services, led by Letitia Hall, developed a more robust customer-facing website, making it easier for us to navigate, including the ability to place service requests, view and pay your bill, and manage multiple accounts at the same time. She launched the Utility Assistance Program in partnership with the Community and Business Development to allocate funds from CDBG CV funding, ensuring that eligible customers exhibiting financial hardship related to the COVID-19 pandemic could receive payments up to $500 applied toward their utility accounts. And continue the city's partnership with our Salvation Army on our WARM program, where eligible customers could have up to $300 applied to their utility accounts. It's important to note that this program is funded entirely by donations within our community, and it's something that I think I'm very proud of, that our community steps in to help our residents in times of need. Our Communications, Marketing, and Public Relations Department, overseen by Dorothy Smith, quickly overcame technical issues, successfully broadcasting our city council meetings on Facebook and our city TV live YouTube channel. And of course, our Human Relations Department, directed by Archie Jones, managed the difficult task to implement the 2020 census calculation tabulation during a COVID pandemic year, and all the restrictions that had to be dealt with from that, and partnered with a number of relief projects supporting our community during the pandemic. You know, and that's no small task either. I mean, each one of these are yeoman's jobs and work. And our city experienced a ransomware attack. Our technology services and its newly hired director, Greg Cotton, increased the threat detection and responses across all network devices and storage systems to keep the city's computer systems safe. So I want to thank each one of you and your staffs, and I think we deserve a little applause here, so I want y'all to take a bow. Those of you not mentioned, you'll be later in the speech, promise. So when I ran for mayor, I did so because I love this community that I grew up in. And I realized that if we wanted change or we wanted to be part of progress, then we need to jump in and need to be part of any activity that was moving forward. So there were a number of issues that came up during my campaign, and I'm proud that our city manager has instigated a number of electronic town hall meetings that will discuss a number of those issues that were brought forth, both during my campaign as well as others. And I think really what that's saying is that we are hearing you. We understand that we have challenges. We understand that we need to hear, we need to confront, and we need to communicate what we're doing. And so thank you, Madam Manager, for engaging in all that. So in the last year, one of the big issues, of course, has been improving public safety. And we've heard you, that public safety is of utmost importance. And so last year, I had a team, an ad hoc committee led by Bill Farmer and the UNC Chapel Hill students, and we did a capstone project. And what we did is we collected data regarding crime, researching how other national and statewide communities and police interact, discovering successful initiatives on how to differentiate violent offenders from those suffering mental health crisis and the overall impact of mental health on our crime statistics, and driving deep into analytics to predict high crime areas. My hope is that through this data collection, not only to pinpoint where crime happens, but most often to utilize technology and other city assets to predict where crime could occur, but to better utilize our police force and more importantly, our community resources to combat it. Now, I've forwarded this report to our city manager and to others, our police chief, and I want to thank Bill for his leadership on that. And it is really nothing more than a report, but one I think that will serve at least as a data point toward a better, more progressive process that we are engaging in. Each of us on council have heard you and are focused on improving our public safety, and we take positive steps in the right direction. Strengthening education is something that should be really critical. It's not normally a city activity. We got out of the school business some years ago after I graduated. But until every child in Rocky Mount graduates from high school, Rocky Mount will not reach its fullest potential. And we've spent a great deal of time in the community discussing education. I say we, I have, along with my staff. In fact, we will have an initiative soon in Rocky Mount that embraces the Obama Foundation's My Brother and Sister's Keeper program that aims to increase the number of youths of color who have access to the tools and opportunities needed to reach their full potential. This team effort has been led by Bill Farmer with the help of Ron Green of the Boys and Girls Club of the Tar River region. I want to thank both of them for their leadership and taking the initiative to try to find opportunities where we can serve our community best. I also want to applaud and recognize the efforts of Peacemakers and has been making in the southern part of our city. They recently announced the launch of a kindergarten, first grade classes that will grow over years to include the higher grades. Peacemakers has proven through the summer and after-school programs that they can get results, and I want to thank Jesse Lewis and Lemanuel Williams for their commitment to our community. So I formed a Schools and Jobs Task Force when I was newly elected, and it was led by Kevin Jones, an opponent of mine in the mayoral race. And they noted in their report that we were Fox businesses, one of the top 5 cities where manufacturing is thriving. That gives us an opportunity to expose our city's young people to successful manufacturing careers as an alternative to college. And I want to thank Kevin for joining with me to solve the problems of our city as we face them. You're a true servant leader. I also want to thank Dr. Ellis and Dr. Bridges for their commitment to our children. We are blessed to have 2 such qualified individuals leading our schools in our area. Together, we have research strategies that provide technology and training to perform low-performing areas, and we've connected with our local public education systems to understand the challenges that are confronting our community and are continuing to work together to strengthen education in Rocky Mount. It truly takes a village to raise our children, and our community is responding by asking how to help. I've often said, and it's true, that our median household income is just too low. At approximately $40,000 per year, average needs to be somewhere closer to 60. That's closer to where the statewide average is. And we have to do better, and I believe that we can. So I've taken the initiative, and I know we have, I know our city manager has, and our staff have, to talk to our largest employers as well as companies looking to relocate to Rocky Mount. And these challenges they're facing, they're not necessarily unique to Rocky Mount, but are something we at least need to acknowledge and then work to try to provide an easing of the path or a leveling of the playing field. Include low educational achievement, meaning that we need to improve our high school graduation rates, and we have an unreliable job attendance rate, and most likely related to unstable transportation and or child care issues. And these are things that we can all work to change together through a focus on workforce development. I believe that we must work to develop and support our downtown because the heartbeat of any city is its downtown. And the first place that most businesses go to when they're looking at a community is their downtown to see its vibrancy. And I believe that ours must become one of an economic engine of entrepreneurs, artists, thriving businesses, and downtown residents who support those businesses, all wrapped in the historic buildings of our community. I want to applaud Amy Staten, who leads the finance department, and Candace Kurtz, our purchasing manager, for their efforts to increase MWBE participation in our city. Our contracts have gone from 0.84% to 2.91% of eligible spending. Of note, I've worked with community leaders recently to sell Rocky Mount and these new companies launching in the next few months on a personal level, FCR and Wolf and Flow X-Ray. And I will continue to work to bring new jobs and companies to our areas. More announcements will be coming. I don't think I can take credit for most of the new ones, but nonetheless, they're coming, and I'm excited about it. In addition, we've been meeting with an advisory council of Rocky Mount business leaders led by Mark Froman and Tina Taylor in the UNC Chapel Hill's Public Policy Department to support local businesses and economic development through identifying resources for capital and training, as well as showcasing how businesses and communities across the state have been adapting to this pandemic as examples of inspiration. We recently partnered with the city to research data on how contracts are awarded with the goal to ensure that all businesses have access. I want to thank Tina and Mark for utilizing their business savvy and expertise to help our small businesses to launch, to grow, and to thrive. I will continue to have ongoing discussions with our small businesses on their needs, their ideas, and how we can evolve and come out strong from this pandemic. Brings us to affordable housing, which is a topic we talk about quite a bit here in Rocky Mount, and I believe that it's something that's critically needed. I also believe that affordable housing has more to do with your ability to be able to afford the housing than the cost of the housing. And as you've heard me say before, I want to try to increase our median household incomes. And I think at the end of the day, that's the one statistic that will make the biggest impact on us. But one of our real challenges, and we've talked about this in our most recent retreat, is that we have a shortage of good housing to offer. We really do. Fortunately, some real estate developers see this need, and they're starting to focus on Rocky Mount for investment. And I'm here to say we welcome their investment into our community. And I'll say that again, we welcome your investment into our community. Eradicating blight is one avenue to strengthen neighborhoods, increase safety, and create a vehicle for home ownership for individuals within these communities. But realtors say that the time for this initiative is now. We have only approximately 105 houses for sale in our market. Our rental market is over 95% occupied, and we have approximately 300 to 400 houses that are currently boarded up. These are estimates. So redevelopment in blighted areas can be a place where home ownership is promoted and enabled. Gentrification can be harnessed in a way that keeps ownership within the community and allows current homeowners to participate in the gains of their housing values. And for developers looking to invest in our community, Development Services, which is spearheaded by our own Will Deaton, has launched a one-stop shop to provide developers, realtors, and other real estate professionals and the opportunity to easily speak with city professionals involving in each aspect of the project. And we have received 3 awards from the North Carolina chapter of the American Planning Association. And I'll put in another plug here for our city manager. This was one of her long-term goals for her city when she came in. I'm just glad to see it happen. It's unfortunate that we had to wait a year for COVID, but I'm excited to see the impact that's going to have on us going forward. So our city manager and her team have rolled out an aggressive plan to expand affordable housing, and I'm here to say I back it 100%, including the option, especially perhaps the option, of asking the public to participate through a general obligation bond added to an upcoming ballot in subsequent years. Her team has done an outstanding job of showcasing the need and suggested solutions and the direction our city, I believe, needs to move forward in as it relates to housing and those initiatives. Now, when it comes to key measurements, I think the bottom line is in order for us to be an effective city, in order for us to be, not an effective city, we're an effective city, in order for us to be most efficient in our movement and our development and agreeing on progress, it starts with a plan. And I think that we need to develop a plan and we need to measure that plan. So any successful plan requires an accountability factor or measurable outcomes that allow, in this case, city manager and our council to navigate in a way that creates success within the confines of the plan. In business, we call these KPIs, or key performance indicators. So the UNC School of Government has a performance measurement project, and I've introduced the lead professor at UNC with our Mayor Pro Tem, Richard Joyner, and hope that Rocky Mount can become part of this innovative program at the next opportunity. Again, I believe continued success and recognition for Rocky Mount, as with any municipality, starts with a solid written plan so we can all work together toward Rocky Mount's continued success. And so that really should allow us to be opportunistic when we're able and to be calculated when needed. Finally, I'd like to commend several other folks. One is Fire Chief Corey Mercer, who's led our fire department to achieve the highest rating of Class 1 to become a part of an elite but small group across the country to do so. Thank you, Chief. Human Resources, spearheaded by Keena Cofield Jones, for implementing a wellness program to support the health, morale, and general well-being of the city's employees while finding cost savings in workman's comp. This, again, is a significant issue considering COVID, considering the emotional and otherwise impact that that's had on morale in terms of our city staff. Parks and Recreation Department have been ably directed by Joel Dunn. We have installed 8 large banners for the Black Light Project on buildings around town to counteract negative perceptions of Black men by revealing the authentic, unsung heroes in our communities and connected with stakeholders in the community to adopt a Battle Park renovations plan. And then the Rocky Mount Police Department, I want to acknowledge for initiating a police athletic program to improve relationships between police and youth within the city through the coaching of youth baseball, softball, basketball teams. And I'd also like to welcome our new chief, Robert Hassel, to Rocky Mount. We're expecting great things from him and this relationship going forward. Our internal audit has been led by Abdul Balak, for he's kept the city in compliance, and the Public Works directed by Brad Carr for their focus on keeping our community functioning and beautiful, including the completion of the Parkers Canal Drainage Improvement Project, resurfacing our street, designing bike boulevards, and inspiring volunteers to keep America beautiful. Our Water Resources, led by Brent for upgrading the Sunset Avenue Water Treatment Plant, relining approximately 10,000 linear feet of the 27-inch Beach Branch sewer outfall from the Westwater Treatment Plant all the way to 7 Bridges Road, and transitioning our water treatment to safer methods. As we emerge from this year of COVID-19, I urge you to get vaccinated. Continue to look after your neighbors, and know that I am always working for you, and I believe that we are always working for you, often behind the scenes, but it is ongoing. We're not here to generate attention, but to listen to you, the citizens of the city of Rocky Mount, understand your challenges, and try to work for solutions to create the highest potential for the city of Rocky Mount. I want to thank you for your time today, and I want to thank you and hope you will join me and be the change here in Rocky Mount. It is my honor and pleasure to serve you as your mayor. Thank you. All right. That's the end of the show, guys.